What is up? Hello, hello. It's been a minute. Welcome, Mo. Welcome, Foran. How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome to episode 13 of Across the Board. Tonight's episode is a kind of little kickoff of a mini series called Zero to Hero. This will be featuring my horse Jishin, where we are going to follow this horse from breed all the way through its whole life cycle. And you get to follow the highs, the lows, discovery. So if you're new to photo finish or you're thinking about getting into it, I think this will be a great opportunity for you to really see the ins and outs of the platform, what it's like to race, struggles you may have along the way. Also, I think it's really good for people who are currently in photo finish, maybe to uncover some insights you might not have thought of or approach things from a different way, understand different strategy. Before we get started, again, wanted to just reiterate, no information here is financial advice of any kind. The goal of the show is to educate and entertain. Web3 games are subject to change at a moment's notice, so please, if you decide to spend your hard-earned money, plan accordingly. I want to give shout out in chat to, we got Trot in here, we got Siberia in here, Jishin, the weekend moderator warrior. That is absolutely right, Mo. Absolutely right. Only highs with MJ's horses. I've been pretty fortunate so far. You know, we'll see what the future holds, but so far so good. I've been pretty happy with it. But yeah, let's just dive in and get started right away. You know, I've talked about some of this stuff before with Jishin, but again, just for the sake of transparency, want to just give kind of that full bit from breed. Let's just switch over to the monitor here. There we go. So this is my tool on mjinformatics.com. This is the, if you go to the nav, the breed barn. When you go to breed barn, it is going to default load with two horses, Wabi Sabi and Weekend Moderator. I preload my tools with my horses. One, to show off my horses, being totally honest, but two, also want to give you an opportunity to, you know, very quickly see and uncover some insights without you having to dig on your own. I think with Hakanai, who I have on my horsepower tool, and with this pair on the breed barn, I think it shows some potentially good examples. Now, there are multiple ways to approach breeding and breeding strategies. This is kind of my area and how I approach that. So, Wabi Sabi is my horse. She is a B+. You can see all of her grades going across the top here. You've got a B+ grade, B+ start, A- speed, A- stamina, finish, B+ heart, B+ temper. Weekend Moderator is an A horse with an A start, A+ speed, A stamina, A+ finish, A heart, and A+ temper. These horses have the exact same track preference boosts, as you can see here, both with 3 in direction, 2.5 in surface, and 3 in condition. Very few siblings, which is something that I'm valuing right now because my horses are left turf, and there are some crazy high siblings, amount of siblings that some horses have within left turf, so I want to be careful of that. Left turf soft. Not many races between them. That's all right. Max fleet figure, we've got 81 and 69 here. Profit, neither horse was profitable, but that's okay. We're going to talk about that in a minute. That shouldn't be too discouraging in my mind for choosing a breeding partner, but definitely something you can consider if that's the angle you want to go. And boosts both have 25 with 3 attribute matches. So in my mind, I see exact same horse profiles. I'm seeing not necessarily super profitable, but that's okay. Very exact same track preferences, and Weekend Moderators an improvement in grade. So my theory in testing this out was that there would be some distance preference that would be passed down to the offspring of this. Would we have aligned track preferences exactly, aligned boosts exactly, same number of matches? To me, it just made sense. And the price was at the floor at 4,000 Derby for the breed. Also, you know, gotta support Mo. Love Mo. And Mo says, not to mention Weekend Moderator was the worst racehorse in PFL history. His owner is an impatient jerk, as I just gave him props. So how did I get to kind of that distance preference conversation? Well, or kind of discovery, if you will. So I This chart down below here, you're looking at two things. So your average fleet figure down the right-hand side, and then your average finish percent down the left-hand side. And so for finish percent, you want a low number. Lower is better. Lower means you are finishing close to zero, which means close to winning. So, for example, if you're in a 10-horse race and your finish percent is 10%, that means you finished first out of 10. Congratulations, you won that race. So again, lower is better here. My personal target, I'm not saying everyone should shoot for this, is around 40%. Why 40%? Hakanai's had success around 40%. So that's just kind of my general rule of thumb. So what I'm doing here is, and you'll see these are stacked bar charts, with the red being for Wabi Sabi and the teal for Weekend Moderator. This white line going across is their combined average fleet figure. So what I'm seeing here from Weekend Moderator is, at 6 is doing pretty well. Very low finish percent, then gets higher, and then as we go on, this gets higher. I mean, it is a little lower, but you notice kind of a general slope up with this performance. For Wabi, not many races, only 5 races. Low here, got very high here, did not do well. A little lower back here, but again, kind of similar. We're at 46% and 47%. Okay, kind of makes sense. Very small sample size, you can make that argument. But we noticed some pretty high fleet figures as well. And I didn't race Wabi in the longer distances because I felt that she was more of a sprinter based off of her boost profile. Again, personal opinion there. So, in my mind, what this allowed me to do with Jishin, their offspring, was to say, okay, I'm just going to eliminate 10, 11, and 12. There could be something there, and I don't know, but at least I want a starting point for this horse. So I'm going to start with these lower distances, especially when I look at this 6 furlongs with Weekend Moderator 17% and Wabi Sabi at 25%. I think there could be something there. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. To this day, this is still a theory, okay? This is not fact. But I will say that when people have come to me and asked questions about, hey, can you help me find distance preference for my horse? What do I look at? I look at this. And what I'm seeing with a lot of horses is that when they're bred, you're going to see the left side, the sprint distances, really low finish percent, and the right side for the other horse, maybe, the stud, is very low on the opposite end of the spectrum. And I'm not necessarily seeing that balance out to, well, very anecdotal at this point. I don't have hard data to support it. But, I've given recommendations. Again, that weren't financial advice, but hey, this is what I see. Because this horse has a lower fleet figure here, there could be some potential. Maybe the other horse didn't race there, and it hasn't really panned out too well. So kind of back to the drawing board. But another reason why I went for alignment, to try and reduce some of that noise and potential crossover, because we don't really know how that looks. Mo says, my research shows the same. It's pulling DP from a parent, not an average. Yeah, very, very well could be. So in my thought was, let's double up on that. And in theory, both of these parents should be racing somewhat similarly. Maybe, maybe not. But this would increase my odds of finding a race that would be successful. So cut off the end, focusing on the shorter distances, and we can dive into the actual performance now of Jishin. He's run 5 races so far. The first one was a Starlight Memorial Stakes. We straight up skipped the maidens chat. We dove right in. Race 1, you can see very small field. This was an 8 left turf sloppy, which makes sense. They both have very strong left turf soft preferences. And 8, Weekend did okay. Was unraced for Wabi, but some high fleet figures. So I thought, okay, maybe there's something here. Jishin did not come in as the favorite. Came in based off of odds, finishing 3 out of 4. Most says I've been running through the top 100 2-year-olds, and my data is pretty much what I assumed it would be. Anyone breeding B to S is having a rough time on the track. I could totally see that. I totally see that. So we're gonna watch this race, then we're gonna talk about why I think it had the outcome that it did. You can see here, Jishin flew out of the gate, just absolutely crushed it to start. A start that I don't think any of my, not that I have many horses, but any of my horses have had. So this got me very excited to see. It almost looked like there was some, trail coming off of him, kind of like he was running like the Flash. But this will be a nice quick one. Or sorry, this is 8. This isn't a 4. 2, and then kind of falls off a little bit. That's okay. I'm not too worried at this point. As long as he's not in the very back right now, gonna do okay. Now, this was kind of on the upper end of what I was hoping for in distance. Some things that concerned me in picking this race, which we'll talk about after we see the results, were 1, the size of the field, and 2, the quality of horses that I was running against. And we'll talk about that after this wraps up, as Jishin comes in to finish the 6th furlong right about here and holds a decent lead. I love closers. I love Hawkeye. I love how he closes. I would say Jishin's a closer here. And at this point, I got a little bit worried because this pack tightened up real quick. But he held strong. And I felt this was a very strong performance, definitely pulling away the last 100 meters here for the stretch. And it's just absolutely beautiful. So let's get off of this. Let's scroll down. Let's take a look at the actual race itself. So first race was a win. Over the moon happy about that. Wonder of View concerned me with the amount of boost that it had, but this is a right turf soft strong preference, and we were running left turf soft. Then here we have a kind of weaker preference left turf soft and an even weaker preference left turf firm. So in this case, I feel in a way that the preferences kind of show you what the actual race outcome was in this particular race. That's not always going to be the case, but in this particular race, this is how I felt. And very happy to come away with the dub at 8. Feeling good about my kind of the bracket that I selected for the distance preferences. So I'm going to circle back to chat before we go on to race number 2. Mo says, I've been running through the top. Oh, yeah. 2-year-old speed to S having a rough time on the track. 1 grade gap seemed to be the most ideal. A to S minus or A plus to S minus seems really strong. So, Mo, I got a question for you there. Are you also looking at the total boosts of the parents and where those boosts kind of factor in? What up, OX33? Happy to see you on. Mo says Jishin's move looks to be at 6 furlongs. We'll take a look at that in the future races. So race number 1 came away with the dub. We are in the money. The horse is profitable for racing. Very, very happy, but small, kind of weak off preference field. So keep that in mind when we talk about distances later. Race number 2, 5 furlong, left turf sloppy. So again, hits Jishin's preferences perfectly. This is a handicap stakes. Jishin, not great odds, but that's what you're going to see with handicap stakes. So here we go. And a much bigger field. Now you're going to note there's another horse here called Weekend Noodles. That is another weekend moderator baby on the track. So this race got me very, very excited. I remember I was messaging Mo about this because we have 2 weekend moderator horses running against each other on preference. Super, super excited. So on this one, Jishin again with a solid start, which you kind of love to see. Holding it at 1. And then starts to go down a little bit. Number 7 just comes flying out of nowhere. Big Brain Stables El Hobo coming in. But then Jishin starts to close again. Jishin loves those turns. And just look at that. Look at those strides. Look at the gallop. It's a beautiful horse, chat. Absolutely beautiful horse. Shout out to Carry the Boat. That's a silly name. David Goggins shot out there, I think. And so now, yeah, Jishin is again ahead of the pack, 4 furlongs. The pack is closing again, and we are down to the final 100 meters. And Jishin just says, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna take this one." So we are 2 races in with 2 wins at 2 different distances, and I am over the moon at this point right now, chat. In terms of how this uh series goes, this is an absolute dream because I couldn't have hoped for a better start. I've run this series before in other games, and it has not turned out as well, not nearly as well. So, and shout out to Weekend Noodles, another weekend moderator baby, ended up getting third in that race. So very, very cool. Then we go to the Starlight Breakaway Handicap Left Turf Sloppy Handicap Stakes, but we're going back to 8 furlongs, bigger field here. So let's see how Jishin does at 6, and let's see how this race turns out. Let's see. Catching up on chat here. Yeah, even the B horses with high matches don't seem to be breeding up too well. I don't really look at it for the higher ones, but they all seem to be consistent. Interesting. Very interesting. So in this one, I mean, Jishin's up there. Drive is going, but Jishin's still holding strong with a, pretty decent start at 1 furlong, the first furlong. Very, very happy with that. Finishing up chat here. Trot says, high boost, not a big gap between. Seems to make more sense too. Mo says he pulls away again at the wire every time. Very Mahdi-like. Macau was a moderator baby too, I think. Oh, very cool. Wow. If moderator had all 3 winners in that race, that's incredible. So Jishin in third, but catching up. And we are about to hit, I think it's 4 furlongs now. Yep. Just hit the 4th, and in a pretty solid place. Again, pretty happy. But then what is happening here, chat? We're just chilling. Look how chill Jishin is right now. And he just falls off to the absolute back of the pack. Starts to make a move, tries to make a move. At 6, still struggling. Just can't really get through. Now, is there something in the game that says, hey, congestion, can't get through? I don't know. Maybe not. But this race ended up being a struggle for Jishin. So, and shout out to Weekend Noodles, who ended up getting 2nd place here. So maybe just an off race, maybe something a little, maybe a higher variance here. Don't know. And then Jishin did something a little different. We went into late night, into the DGen After Dark R3, 5 furlong left turf sloppy. Jishin comes in as the favorite here. And this race was cool. Got some betting action on this one. It was fun. I like these After Dark races. These are nice. Mo says 6 too short. Looks like he wants to start moving at 6 into 7 and 8. Mo says Grail Mary time. Mo, yeah, you called this race. And so Jishin kind of holding second here. I forgot how he started in this race. But yeah, solid starter. Always a solid starter. And then he's going. Just look at him glide. Look at him fly. Again, 5 furlong left turf sloppy. After that ace, that kind of stumble at 8, decided to go back to 5 because that's what was working before. I see a lot of people when they are picking their races, they are going for they're going all over the place, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. Discovery is important, but I'm very much a proponent of go with what you know, or go with what's close and then go off of that. See, Jishin comes through here, can't quite pull it out, but ends up taking a 2nd, which I was very, very happy with. And what's not going to show up here is that with this, and yeah, race against this horse before. With this, we have much more on preference, which was good to see. But I also got an extra 1,000 Derby from the juiced pool in this race. So that won't show up in his profit necessarily because that just comes over as an extra payment. But this was big. This was very, very big. Yeah, Mo says moderator exacta. Exactly. And then before we get to the last race, again, just want to circle back to chat. Love how lively we are tonight. Chatting up a storm over here. Mo says that's my girl. Run, Mary, run. Trust in says, hey, I want to offer. Oh no, we don't do that. Yep, nope. Not interested in that. So you can let's do, we're gonna go bye and banned. All right, there we go. Easy chat. Glitch is also Mahdi blood. Nice. Everyone is running his bloodline except me. Mo, you got to get on it. Exactly, Trot. Bye-byes. So, final race. Glitch is the favorite here. Jishin, not bad, you know. But again, I went back to 5 furlong left turf. This one was yielding, though. Instead of sloppy, just because it had been a little while since I got Jishin in a race, and I was just itching to get him in and wanted to see how he would do on a yielding track instead of sloppy. Look at those buses. The third time bus behind there, I think, is pretty cool. I like that touch. So we're in a yielding track now, something a little different. We'll take a look at the field when we're done here. Get ready for McFly next season. First, Mahdi Steph's Kiss Baby. Ooh, that's exciting. That's super, super exciting, Mo. So Jishin not as strong of a start on yielding. I wonder if that's due to yielding. Maybe, maybe not. Again, could be variance. We're dealing with very, very small sample sizes here. 2A horses. I made an A+. Mo, that is awesome. Congrats on that. That is huge. And then Jishin's just on the outside, making his move, taking his time. Hits it at 4, holds it at 4. And they're trying to catch him. They are trying to catch him. But again, he pulls away ever so slightly at the end. And if we take a look at this field, LTS, there's our RTF, LTF, LTS, and LTS. And with this being yielding, I kind of expect that field to be a little more varied. We have a no preference soft and a 2-star firm here in second and third. And we've got a left turf soft, very exact same profile for track preferences. Jishin just didn't do as well. Again, is that variance? Is that performance? But so let's head over to the stable. Those are all of his races so far. And if we look at Jishin right now, in 5 races, 3 wins, 1 second, and has largest purse of 1,800 and career earnings of 5,347 Derby. So if we go to the ledger here, you can see the profit is 1,757. We'll add an extra 1,000 on there. That's 2,757. The breed was 4,000 and change. So, I mean, that alone, we are over halfway to recouping his breeding cost in his first season after 5 races, which I'm just super, super, super happy. Poker Player says, check your stable again, MJ. Trot on someone piss test someone piss test this horse. Yeah. Absolutely full of Wabi Hog. Oh shit! Oh shit, chat! Oh, Poker. Oh, Poker, thank you. Oh, we're gonna shift gears from Jishin in a minute. We're gonna talk about lucky number 11 because MJ just got lucky live on stream. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Actually, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it now. Prospect is here. What is up, Prospect? My brother, love you. Thank you so much for coming in. As if MJ has won the claim while live on stream. I absolutely did, Peep. Absolutely, it did. Holy shit. Yeah, so I had claimed this earlier. Holy fuck. Yes, we can swear on this stream chat because these are my rules. I'm the captain now. So yeah, I claimed this horse 2 races for 15,000. I've been scanning claimers. I've lost like 4 of them. But we have, 2.5 on right, 3 on dirt, 2.5 on firm for 15,000. 3 start, 3 speed, 2 stamina, 1 finish, 3 heart, 2 temper for 15,000, which I'm over the flipping moon about. Chat, I have entered into the RDF game. Let's effing go. Wow, thank you, poker. I can't believe I got that. I cannot believe I got that. I am shook right now. I am absolutely shook. So yeah, we're gonna start cranking out some RDF babies real soon. Hopefully in the same style of Jishin, trying to make those matches, trying to get that going. Peep says amazing. Yes, claimed live. Want to see reaction? Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like taking a shot right now. Prospect says no parents, no rules. Exactly. That was the hearse with about 30 claims. Holy crap. Oh, how do we I'm gonna ask a new question here. How do you see that? You have to go back to the race itself. I am absolutely shook over this chat. I feel numb right now. I feel absolutely numb. Mo says pair nicely with Joker. Uh-oh. So yes, RDF, here I come. Looks like I'm not sleeping tonight. 28 claims, I think. Absolutely insane, peep. Absolutely insane. Wow. Go to Ledger of the Philly. Oh, okay. Stable. Lucky number 11. Wow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 30, 34. Holy mother nuggets, chat. And the lucky line has been born. Thank you, F-Dog. I appreciate that. And you know what? I look forward to the day when we can openly do horse transfers, because I cannot wait to start giving you some of these opportunities, chat. Let's fucking go. This just derailed the whole stream in the best possible way. Woo! All right. Well, we're going to have some new babies coming in soon. So going back to Jishin. Wow. Thank you for pointing that out. Poker player, you a real one. Trot's calling for a piss test because we've got 3 wins in 1 place in 5 races. So this is where we are now. We're profitable. We're halfway covered, more than 50% of our breeding costs. And I'm going to continue. I want to experiment now. So we looked at this chart, which I used to kind of pick out my distance preference. We cut off 10, 11, 12. We're having a lot of success at 5. We saw success from the parents at 6. Very small sample size. So what I'm going to do now is focus on 4, 5, 6. Try and stay as on preference as possible. Try and get as sloppy as possible with it. But that's where I'm going to be for next week. So when we circle back next week in Jishin, hopefully have an extra race or 2 in there between those distances, and we can track how he's doing. But right now, I am absolutely over the moon. In fact, we're going to go to horsepower quick. Luckily, thankfully, I was able to get this update in quick. We're right before the stream, but we're not totally up to date. But I tweeted from the MJ Gaming Network account. Updates are going to be a little slower. I hope within the next 24 hours, everything will be totally up to date. But I was able to add in a few hundred extra races here. So if we look at Jishin, we've got his 5 races here. And so, kind of how I would look at analyzing performances, one aspect. So we've got a 36%. Remember, I said my target was 40 for average finish percent. Um, he's right under that. He's doing well. I can see here, well, it's actually 22 at 5, higher fleet figure at 5. 5 is looking stronger than 8 for me right now. I'm looking at speed. So this is in miles per hour. And this is looking at it's a box and whisker. So this will be the median right here. You've got the upper hinge, the lower hinge. So he's below average, technically, below the median, but has still won 3 out of 5 races. And at 8, definitely struggled, but actually won one of these 2 races. So I see a lot of people talking about speed, looking at speed, and I wanted to kind of segue into this, that speed isn't everything in the game. When you look at an individual race, yes, the fastest horse wins, but when you're looking at it on a whole, this is kind of a lesser but still important puzzle piece. When I look at Hakanai, it's a little clearer. But, kind of as you go down maybe in grade, it's going to be a little tougher. Hakanai, you can see, is definitely above that midline. At 11, which is his strongest distance. You can see here, finishing 38%. Not the best fleet figure, but very strong finishes here. And he currently has profit of 9,000 Derby off of 32 races. And at 11 furlongs, has a profit of 11,000 with a 37% win rate and a 84% win place show rate. The other thing I want to mention about speed, which might be a little tough to see on the screen, is notice the difference in speed here. So at 11 furlongs, he's at 35.14, and I'm going to try and highlight that for you so you can maybe see it a little better. At 10 furlongs, he's at 35.32, 7 furlongs, 36.45, 9, 36.01, and at 12, 34.38. Well, these are very, very different, and it's kind of weird that at 7 he's the fastest. And did, in his one race, did decently well there. He ended up getting let's see if we can just scroll down here at the individual races. It was a 4-horse race. He finished second. So, maybe something interesting there at 7, but it just doesn't seem to add up in my mind of hey, in other games, you can look purely at speed and say, okay, boom, faster, faster, faster. And there's something that I discovered that I want to share with you about speed. We're going to kind of cut here to a little chart that I created. So this is looking at this is not miles per hour. This is going to take the time it took to finish a race and the divided by the distance of that race. So you're getting these numbers in here are basically a per furlong speed, right? So if I look at left dirt firm and right dirt firm, you can see at 4, across basically all of these, they're pretty close at 4 furlongs, but they're a little different, which is good. That's a good thing. I don't want these to be all exactly the same. I don't want any of these numbers to be exactly the same. This is good. But what I thought was interesting was that as you go down in all of these, the time per furlong increases. So you're getting, which would mean slower speed, slower mile per hour. So when you're looking at your speed, you need to consider both the track preference, the track type, and the distance that you are running at. So you might run a horse and say, oh my gosh, this horse is so fast. And then it might run at a different distance and it might be a slower speed, but still perform just as well. So, and I think that speaks to the fact that, and this is a guess, that there is so much more that goes into these horses and these horses' performance than just the raw speed. This is a simple output from multiple inputs. So when you're looking at performance, I encourage the community to put more consideration into other factors besides just raw speed, raw numbers. And if you're looking at, say, hey, I'm running faster because I'm running at shorter distances, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm running better. Look at profit, look at your finish percent to get a much clearer picture in how the horse is running. So that's kind of my rant there, but something that I think, and I'll just kind of duck out of the way here, you can see it all, that should be kept in. So this kind of wraps up Zero to Hero Jishin. Unless Ian comes to me with some paperwork demanding a piss test for Jishin, we're gonna continue to move forward. Chet, if you have any questions about horse performance, about breeds, about strategy, let me know. What I'm presenting here tonight is just the way that I'm doing it. It isn't necessarily the right way or the only way or even the best way, but I want to take you along with me as I discover these horses and kind of open up my experience, my thoughts to the community in hopes of hopefully helping out, getting you to think in maybe a different way, and hopefully race better, whether you're new or you've been in photo finish for a very long time. I'll stick around just for a little bit. I'm going to bump through all the different chats on the different channels live on Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, please hit me up. Also, slide in my DMs. I've had a lot of people DM me on Discord and on Twitter. Please continue to do so. I appreciate that. I will try and get back to you within 24 hours. If I don't, I'm sorry. It's a little tougher for me to do on the weekends, and my travel schedule will be picking up here soon. But I promise I will do my best to get back to you. I wish you all the best. So I think we'll go ahead and close up tonight. Trot says, thanks for feedback and Discord DMs. Much appreciated. No problem. Anytime. Chat, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and thank you